This open, do full screen. All right, well, hopefully you can still hear me all right. So my name is Shannon Polson, and I am a personal trainer for women. So I help midlife and senior women build realistic workout routines that improve strength and mobility, helping them to move with ease and basically experience less pain. So 80-year-old you is going to feel comfortable, capable, strong, and you can do all of the things, all of the activities that you would want to do normally. All right, so our master class today, basically our main goal by the end of our session is to make sure that you are training with your body, not against it, right? Because we're probably experiencing some different shifts in our body as we are 40 and beyond. And a lot of us are busy when we're in this midlife season. So I want to make sure that you're able to build the strength and the muscle without burning out. All right. So a lot of people, or a lot of women, I should say, have mentioned to me during training sessions that they feel like they're doing something wrong. Their body is not responding to movement the way that it used to. They feel like their workouts are harder and maybe their recovery time is a little longer. And they're so curious as to why this is. Now, the thing is that you're not doing anything wrong. Your body is not doing anything wrong. In fact, it's evolving and it's changing, which is such a beautiful concept that we have in this life that we live. So if your workouts are feeling harder, if your body is responding differently to movement, but you're doing more and you're seeing less, again, it's not the discipline that's the problem. It is more or less probably the strategy or the approach. All right, so before we dig even deeper into this masterclass, I just want to kind of have a spoiler alert. So if you came here because, I want a quick fix, I want to lose a lot of weight in a little amount of time, I want the magic beans, there's none of that here. This masterclass is teaching you the tried and true strategies that have worked for women for the over 17 years that I have been training them. I'm not guaranteeing you that you're going to build a bunch of muscle in a week and you're going to have a lifetime of happiness. But what I am saying is that if you stay consistent and if you work hard, you will build muscle. And 80-year-old you will be so very happy. You can think of your fitness just like your finances, right? Like we don't build long-term wealth overnight. And the same thing goes with our fitness. So it's not a discipline that's the problem, it's our strategy. So how can we go ahead and change our approach for our age? All right. Whoops. I'm so sorry, guys. How do I go back? All right. So why do traditional workouts not work necessarily after 40? Well, typically when we hit 40, our hormones shift, our recovery slows, and our muscle loss accelerates. And then we're more sensitive to increased stress. So our estrogen is fluctuating, our recovery time between workouts is slower. We're unable to build that lean muscle mass like we could when we were younger. And then stressful situations, we react differently to it as well. So what a lot of women do is they typically think that they need to push harder. They think, well, I'm just going to add more cardio. I'm going to increase intensity. I'm going to eat less. I'm going to push harder overall. But in reality, the more stress you put on your body, okay, it's depleting your energy. It's depleting your fuel system because you're eating less. That's more stress on your body. So then our body reacts to that stress and it actually goes against what we want it to do. So keeping that in mind, I am so sorry, you guys. I don't know why it's doing that. So does this ever sound familiar to you? You think, oh, I just need more willpower. It's not working right now. So I'll start on Monday. I'll start on my next birthday, January 1st. I'll just start when I'm ready. Or maybe you're thinking, I'll try the next diet or fitness program that seemed to work for everybody else. That is the one that I really hear a lot from women is, oh, my aunt's cousin did this program and she really liked it and she lost 10 pounds, or my coworker did that challenge and she got buff right away. And while that's great, and these programs can work if you are looking for that quick fix, we want to make sure that we're working on long-term results, and we want to make sure that we're finding what works for you, because what works for somebody next to you is not necessarily going to work for you, and vice versa. And to go on a side rant, talking about our diet culture, the diet culture really likes to hound in and sell to women. They try and say, you need more willpower. By doing that, you should probably grab this program and then you'll have a lifetime of happiness and magic beans. When in reality, that's not the case. The diet culture is still in business because they're really, really good at marketing to women. And they're really great at delivering products that assumingly gives you results. But in reality, these are all quick fixes, and they are marketing to us thinking that we are the problem, and we are not. We are not the problem. We don't need to do more. We don't need to have more willpower. We're good. We have enough on our plate and we're doing as much as we can, and that is enough. So taking that diet culture and all that outside noise and what they're trying to sell us on, I want you just to kind of shove that to the side, although it's easier said than done, and really focus on, okay, but this is my journey. This isn't necessarily somebody else's, what works for them. I am so sorry. Maybe if I just click the button. Okay, so let's dig into, you can build muscle after 40, right? A lot of women think, oh my goodness, I'm over the hill, I'm 40 or I'm 50 or I'm 60 and I can't build lean muscle mass anymore, and this is it. And honestly, that couldn't be further from the truth. And we're going to go over a few things that are going to help you build muscle after the age of 40. Now, again, we're not here for a quick fix. We're not here for magic beans that are going to work over the weekend. We are here because fitness is like our finances. We want that long-term wealth. So 80-year-old you can be set. You can get down and up from the floor without being conscious if you're going to fall. You're going to be able to go on a terrain that's rough and go for a hike. You're going to be able to meet up with your friends and hang out by the pool and have margaritas. We want to establish long-term success, and this is how we're going to do it. Consistency over intensity. Now, a lot of people think, all right, I need a long, sweaty session. I need to go at least an hour every day, right? If I'm not sweating by the time I leave, then what's the point? In reality, while those intense exercises do play a big role in our fitness journey, consistency plays even bigger of a role than intensity. So if you are looking at your week over the course of like your work week, we want to think, all right, what days can I be more intense? When is my cycle? When is my creative week? When is my week where I'm feeling a little bit more in the winter season? Think of it that way, but stay consistent. So if you're in a really creative week, let's say it's a week or two long, that's maybe when you have your higher intensity workouts. Maybe that's when your workouts are a little bit longer. Maybe you're adding a little bit more weight, more reps to your workouts. But then on your fall and winter season, when you're feeling less creative, your energy is a little bit lower. It's not about intensity, but we still want to stay consistent. So we can do stretching, we can do some Pilates, we can do some yoga, or we can just go for a walk. But the regular workouts, that's what builds lasting strength and resilience. Consistency, making sure that they're regular, they're a part of your schedule. Now, as you can see on the bottom here, muscle loss begins after the age of 40. And I would even say sometimes for some women, it's the age of 35. But let's just chalk it up to 40, and we'll say that women can lose up to 5% of muscle mass per decade without training. Now, 5%, that's not that big of a number, right? Well, it is. It 100% is, especially if we don't have that firm foundation before we even hit the age of 40. So you're not too late. If you haven't worked out a day in your life, you just turned 41 and you don't know where to go. Maybe it's been 6 months since you've been at a gym or have done a workout. It's not too late. So I want you to keep that in mind as well. Okay. So this is highlighting the importance of strength training for maintaining overall health and vitality. So thinking of your longevity. Oh my, I don't know why it's doing that. I'm so sorry. All right. So consistency. Let's continue the talk of consistency because it's key. And you hear it with everything, right? Whether it's your profession, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your finances, consistency wins every single time. And when it comes to your exercise or the movement of your body, we want to stay consistent over that intensity. And that's why I want you to know that each movement session or exercise session can be done in as little as 5 minutes. So even those 5 minutes compound over time. It's very similar to your financial savings account, right? $5 here, $20 here. It doesn't seem exciting during the time, but over time and then come retirement, it's really, really exciting because all of that added up over time. It compounded. It's the same with your fitness. And then we just kind of chatted about, do you have more energy or time on a particular day or a particular week? Maybe that's when you have your longer exercises. All right. Progressive overload. So, this is one that is so important when it comes to exercising. A lot of people, specifically around the new year, or it's my birthday, or it's Monday, I just got home from vacation. I need to do all of the things. Progressive overload is over a course of time, not just I got back from vacation last Friday. So now on Monday, I'm going to overload myself and try and catch up. I just turned 52. I should probably get into things. I'm going to, because I've wasted all of this time, or not wasted because I haven't exercised in all this time, I'm going to go really hard, really fast. And we see a lot of this. And then injury happens. And then you get burnt out. And then the cycle continues. So proper progression is so essential when it comes to building muscle and maintaining that muscle long term. So I want you to think gradually increasing your resistance over time. So here's kind of the baseline of what your week is going to look like. And we'll go over this a little bit deeper in a little bit. But you want to strength train for at least 3 days a week. So you want to lift weight, whether it's body weight, whether it's light dumbbells, whether it's resistance bands, kettlebells, plates. We were endless here, right? But we want to make sure that we are lifting some kind of load on our body a minimum of 3 days a week. Now, a lot of people say, okay, well, shouldn't I be doing this at least 90 minutes a week? Was that my total of minutes I need to do? While yes, that is a great goal, again, we can jump back to those 5-minute sessions, and maybe that's where you start. From there, you slowly and gradually progress. Cardio, endurance, and mobility training at least 2 days a week. Okay, so this is making sure that we're staying mobile within our hips. We're able to get down and up from the floor. We're able to go up and down the stairs. So we're working on that endurance so we can walk around and be within our life with ease. Walk and walk a lot. So I want you to be upright as much as you can. I want you to stay active as much as you can. So we call this recreational activity. So the more recreational activity you have throughout your day, the more calories you're burning. Prioritize rest and recovery. And this doesn't mean I'm going to binge watch my favorite Netflix show all weekend because the weekend is my recovery time. No. Rest is gentle walking, stretching, yoga, meditation, journaling, something that's really keeping your body and your mind active. And again, the importance of progressing gradually is essential here. All right, proper form. One of my favorite parts of personal training for women is focusing in on the body mechanics. So, my goal for you is whether you've been exercising for years or you're just getting into it, I want you to prioritize proper exercise form. Okay. So, learning these techniques truly helps you to avoid injuries and then allows max movement benefits. So let's say that you're doing a squat. You should know where your body weight should be. You should know the mechanics. You should know how to breathe. You should know where I should be feeling that particular exercise. Now, this isn't something that needs to be learned overnight, but this is something, while we don't want to just have our exercise session be a check mark off of our list, but rather more of an authentic session with ourselves, really allowing us to feel how the exercise is feeling for us and where we want to be targeting. So proper form kind of ties down to where is your weight distributed. If you're doing a body weight squat and your weight is moving towards the balls and the heels of your feet, you're going to be targeting the lower part of your knees. If you are doing a body weight squat and your weight is on the heels of your feet, you're going to be targeting your hamstrings, glutes, and your lower back. So we probably want to target option number 2, which is our hamstrings, glutes, and our lower back, because there's not much need to be targeting the lower part of our knee, right? Understanding your body mechanics. So where is your eye gaze? Where should your shoulder complex be? Where is your core and your hips situated? Where are your knees and where are your feet? So just being mindful of where your body is when you are doing all of these exercises. What muscles should be activated? Now, the great thing about a personal trainer is I typically tell you, okay, you're coming up from a squat, weight is on your heels. When you stand, squeeze the glutes. Now, this isn't necessarily something that, again, you need to learn overnight, but being very mindful of, okay, I'm doing a squat. These are the muscles that I'm activating, so on and so forth. And again, where should you be feeling each movement? And proper breathing techniques is huge. Number 1, I just need you to be breathing. A lot of people hold their breath when they are doing their exercises. But number 2, when to properly breathe and how to breathe. All right, rest and recovery. So again, recovery is not just doing nothing. And a myth that a lot of people hear is, well, I'm building my muscle during my workout. And while that could be somewhat true, muscles actually build more during the recovery phase. So like I mentioned before, I want you to walk, and I want you to walk a lot. I want you to think of that recreational exercise, walking, gardening, going for a gentle hike, stretching, yoga, that type of stuff. Mobility exercises is huge, again, so we can keep those hips mobile so we're able to move around in our daily life with ease. Prioritizing rest and sleep. This is huge. Without proper rest or sleep, you could do all of the things under the universe, but without enough rest and sleep, your body will go against it. So I would say if there's 2 things that I need you to focus on right now as you leave, I need you to focus on enough sleep, and I need you to focus on drinking enough water. That would be a great foundational area to then build up from. Now, again, we want to make sure that we're eating enough protein, because protein helps build our muscles, helps rebuild our cells, and then among other nutrients as well. All right, so after all of that, I've got consistency. I'm working on my progression. I'm working on proper form, and I'm working on recovery, right? That's kind of the foundation of things. Think of, if you were building a house, you wouldn't start with the roof or appliances. You would start with your foundation. And those items that we just covered are exactly what your fitness foundation is all about. All right, so we've got that foundation. How can we start building our walls? How can we start building up? So this is what progress isn't, okay? Lifting your maximum every workout. So with personal training, we actually have different phases that we put our clients through. And this is because we don't want you to lift your maximum every workout. There is a phase where we want you to, but then we actually have to regress to give our muscular system and your nervous system a break. So if you think you need to go into every workout lifting as much as you can, I want you to kind of dismiss that and start focusing in on weights that are fitting you for that particular session. Leaving every session completely exhausted. I think we can all raise our hand thinking that this is something that we need to do. When I was younger, 100%, I needed to leave every session being completely exhausted. It ties back to consistency over intensity. Again, while there is a time and place to find that exhaustion after a workout, because it truly does feel good sometimes, it doesn't need to be every single session. Needing every workout to be long, you can start with 5 minutes. And sometimes that'll lead you into a 10-minute, 15-minute workout, and that's beautiful. But if you just did 5 minutes, that's 5 more minutes than what you would have done. And that still compounds into lasting results at the end. All right, constantly adding more volume. So this means reps, weight, and duration. So while there is a time and place for adding these these three volumes, you don't want to do them all at the same time. So either you're adding reps, or you're adding weight, or you're adding duration, but you typically want to avoid doing two or three of them all together. Experiencing muscle soreness more often than not. If you have muscle soreness that lingers, this might be your body's way of saying, hey, we're training a little bit too hard. We need to back off and we need to go ahead and degress a little bit. And that's okay. Muscle soreness is good, right? We get done after doing our front walking lunges the next day. It's hard to sit down on the toilet because our legs are sore. That's good. We like that. But if every day you're unable to sit down because your legs are sore or your neck is very tight and it's giving you headaches, this again is your body's way of saying, let's back off a little bit. All right. So this is what progress does look like. It's intentional movement. So it goes back to our body mechanics. It goes back to if I'm doing a body weight squat, where is my weight distributed? Where should I be feeling this movement? And how am I breathing? Okay. I'm not doing body weight squats just to check it off the list. I'm doing them because they're really good for me. And here's why. Small increases, just talked about that. Either reps, weight, or duration, but not two or three at the same time. Small and gentle, and typically that happens every 2 weeks. And this is over time, right? So think again of your financial journey. When you're 20 and you first get your 401k, you're probably setting aside, maybe 3% of your income. And then over time, you're like, I bump it up to 5%. I'm nearing 40, 50, 60. I'm increasing my 401k. Now I'm up to 12%. So it happens over time. It's not overnight. And in fact, we don't want it to be overnight because, again, that's when the injury rate increases. So these three items repeated consistently, that's how we build muscle. Okay. And it's crazy because you're probably thinking, well, this is silly. Like, I seriously thought this masterclass was going to be like magic beans and truly like, how can I build muscle? But in reality, this is it. It's just that, all that outside noise, all of our society is telling you, do this, do that, move this way, move that way. But at the end of the day, it's science. It's truly science and how our body reacts to what this progression is. So like I mentioned, progression typically happens every 2 weeks. So let's say I'm on week 1 of my training. I'm at 12 repetitions. Next, or 2 weeks later, now I'm maybe progressing up to 15 repetitions. Now I'm moving into that 6th week of training. Now I'm increasing my weight. So see how every 2 weeks I'm typically doing something, especially in the beginning. Let's say you've been exercising for a year or 10 years. You can find and feel, okay, you know what? This session I can increase my weight. And it hasn't been 2 weeks, and that's okay. So listen to your body. When it comes to weight, you typically want to add 2 to 5 pounds, especially when the last few reps still feel strong. So if you're working on 12 reps, you should start to feel it by rep number 8, 10 for sure. 12, okay, you know what? I can maybe do a 13 and 14th rep, but I'm thinking 12 is good. That's how we know the rep is good. And then adding weight. So typically, like I said, we want to make sure that we're adding 2 to 5 pounds for weight. And that is, again, by rep 10 to 12, if we're doing 12 reps, you're really feeling it's easy. So then now I can go ahead and add that weight. Reducing rest time slightly. So this one is so fun to witness my clients progress through, because when we first start training, they might have to take a couple minute break between our sets of exercises. But truly within a couple weeks, even into a couple of months, they don't really have to rest very much. And that's progression itself. That's truly, truly progression, is you're not needing to rest as much. And then this is always improving your control and form when it comes to your exercise. Again, always focusing in on that intentional movement. All right. So, this structure that I have right here is basically what supports our hormones, our recovery, and our muscle growth. So, this is kind of a foundation that I would want you to be at within about 3 months if you are just starting out with fitness training. Okay. Let's say that you've been exercising for a while now. Maybe you can take a Tuesday and Thursday walk plus mobility and add another strength training session in there. But as you can see, it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday gig. Okay. Ideally, 30 minutes is great, totaling up to that 90 minutes of strength training throughout the week. But again, 5 minutes is wildly better than no minutes. Okay. And 5 minutes is really, truly a great place to start as well. Notice I got a lot of walking and mobility in there as well. Okay. The importance of just being upright. Walking is the most natural movement that we can do. So let's keep it up. We want to be able to walk around when we're 80 years old. And we want to be able to be mobile. We want to get down and up from the floor to play with our grandkids, with our dogs, to garden, to do all of the things that are going to truly make us happy, that future us will thank us for. Weekend can be rest, but again, you can see that you are walking here still. Okay, so this doesn't need to happen overnight, right? Like don't need to look at this and be like, well, I currently don't work out right now, but I need to clearly establish this because that's what Shannon said. I just want you to start with one day at a time. I want you to start with one day. I want you to start with one workout at a time. I want you to start out with just 5 minutes and truly, truly just build up from there. All right. So the nice thing about focusing on 5 minutes at a time, and I do this all the time, I just call it the 5 minute rule, is that you start warming up, you start moving your body, you get on your favorite tunes, you got your cute little tank top on. That 5 minutes typically turns into 10 or 15 minutes. And all of a sudden you got 20 minutes underneath your belt and you feel amazing. But let's say 5 minutes is all you have. 5 minutes is all you have when it comes to your energy. 5 minutes is all you have when it comes to your schedule or your knowledge or just the overwhelm that you're feeling. It's fine. 5 minutes is beautiful. You still did something, and that's how you build. Okay. Focus on one day. This kind of helps remove the mental clutter and the frustration of what you should be doing. The fact of, oh, I didn't do anything yesterday. And if I do this today, well, then what am I going to do tomorrow? Just focus on today. Okay. Just 5 minutes at a time, one day at a time. From there, I promise, if you stay consistent, you will start to build that habit. You will build that routine. You will build that strength, build that muscle that we're looking to create, and you will not burn out. All right, we got to go the other way. And then another thing to mention too is pick movements that you generally enjoy. So let's say that you are not an evening person and you don't really love Zumba. Okay. I wouldn't recommend signing up for a evening Zumba class. Okay. But let's say that you like some light strength training and you're more of a morning person. Maybe you set the alarm 15 minutes early and you wake up and you go to your yoga mat, grab your weights and start there. Or sign up for a morning class like a Pilates or a strength training class. Respect your body in the season of life. So I mentioned this in the beginning, talking about our monthly cycle. So while, we've got our creative week or two, maybe that's when we're a little bit more intense. And then we've got more of our fall, winter season, kind of the hibernation season of our cycle. We cool it down a little bit. We do some more yoga. We do some more stretching. But not only do we look at it in a month, but we can also look at in a year. So summer, you're thinking, I love to be outdoors. I'm doing more recreational activities such as hiking and gardening, but I'm also doing a lot of biking. I'm maybe going for longer walks. Maybe I'm even taking my dumbbells outside and doing an outdoor strength training session. Winter, we're hibernating. Okay. We are focusing more on gentle, focusing more on rest and recovery. It's interesting because, our New Year's resolution typically starts January 1st. We know that, right? But we are smack dab in the middle of winter. Our bodies, our cycle of life is not meant just because the calendar switched a day to just change all of the things. So we can look at New Year's resolutions. You think, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to work out more, I'm going to XYZ. Love it so much. Goals are amazing to have. But winter isn't always the perfect time to make those high end goals. Now is a better time. We are approaching spring. We are starting to bloom. We're starting to flourish. We're starting to get warmer. Now is a time to really just reconsider where you want to be, how you want your life to look, and then let's make goals from here. And the thing too with diet culture is it tries to tell you what's right and what's wrong. This is wrong, this is right, XYZ. I want you to also dismiss that and know that there is no right or wrong. I want you to find what works and fits for you and avoid the comparison game. So, again, if your coworker did this and it worked for her, fantastic. Let her do her journey. If your aunt's cousin did something and it worked really well for her, great. Don't compare yourself to her journey. Okay. All of our journeys are wildly different. All right. So one more just quick little whoop, we got a bonus round in here is incorporating the bounce back method. So like I mentioned in the beginning and all throughout our masterclass here is that fitness works like your finances. Okay. You overspend once, you're probably not going to quit saving forever, right? It's the same thing when it comes to your fitness and when it comes to your nutrition. So let's say fitness. Oh, I went on vacation. I didn't exercise for a whole week. Whatever. I'm going to throw in the towel. Nope. You get right back into it. You bounce back into your routine, and it doesn't need to be a pick up where you left off type of routine because you took a week off. But it's definitely, I just need to bounce back. I just need to get back into the swing of things, get back into the routine. This is really good to use around the holidays, around big celebrations or events like the vacations when you take time off or your routine is different, we were bouncing back. We're literally getting back into the swing of things. Same thing with your nutrition. Okay. Let's say I had plans to eat a salad tonight, but my friend asked me to go out and now I'm eating cheese curds. Well, whatever. I hope that you enjoyed those cheese curds because they are fantastic. Tomorrow, let's get back to that salad. You're bouncing back. Okay. So every healthy choice is truly a deposit. We don't need to wait until Monday. We don't need to wait until our next birthday, till January 1st, or when we feel ready. Every next decision can benefit you. So we're not waiting anymore. We're bouncing back as soon as we can get back into it. And that's how that is going to protect your journey or your savings account. All right. So we are nearing the end. And I just want you to know that I don't want you to feel overwhelmed when it comes to fitness. Because honestly, you've got better things to do. And I don't want this to feel hard for you. I don't want you to take in all of that outside noise or that diet culture and be confused on what you should be doing. Okay. So, what I did is I created a blueprint for building muscle after the age of 40. So this is Strong Her Foundation. So my Strong Her Foundations, we'll talk about that in a second. It's a 3-month amazing program for women over 40. And basically, this is truly the foundation that I use in the Strong Her Foundations. And then, of course, in that foundation, we build up from there. So if you are looking to get into exercise, if you've been exercising, but you feel stalled, how can I increase? How can I progress? This blueprint is really, really great. So basically, it kind of gets a little bit deeper into what we talked about today as far as that foundation or those foundation steps to start building up your walls. And then I also included 3 guided workouts. So I've got 3 workouts that are about 15 minutes long. They're guided. They're giving you cues. They're giving you breathing techniques. It's telling you where you should be feeling each exercise that we are completing. I've got a lower body, upper body, and then a total body on that as well. So again, I don't want fitness to be overwhelming for you. I want it to feel good. I want it to be a habit. I want it to be something that just kind of brings you home. All right. So with the Stronger Foundations, like I said, it's a beautiful little PDF, and then you can click into the workouts, and then you'll get direct access to those 3 workouts that you can reuse and build off of. So they're 15 minutes. So maybe you do 3 5-minute increments, and that's what you do throughout the week. Maybe that's what you do throughout the day. Okay, so you can so truly play around with it. All right, so the Strong Her 3 and 3 program, it's an exclusive program that I've created to really, really help women start seeing lean muscle mass and muscle definition. And it's such a beautiful program. I love it so much. But what it is for 3 months, we will train 3 times a week for 30 minutes. And the success that I've found with my women joining this program has been immense and amplified. And it's really, really cool to witness their progress. And I'm seeing that I forgot to put her testimonial in. But basically, Robin's testimonial was she was a very, she was on the roller coaster cycle of starting and dismissing her exercise routine. So, Monday would come and she'd get crazy with it, and then she'd get kind of injured or really burnt out, and then she'd quit. And then, okay, next Monday I'll start over again. So it's just this endless cycle. Her lower back really, really bothered her when we started. Her shoulders really bothered her when we started. And now she's doing these amazing squats and snatches and all of the things. And she did say that I can share this stuff with you guys because she wants people to know her journey, that yes, this is a real thing, right? Our diet culture is so noisy to women. But if we just take a step back and truly focus in on the silent science and what works for us as individuals, we can truly start to benefit from our workouts. All right, so doors are open for the blueprint to building muscle after the age of 40. So I'm going to send out an email, and then this blueprint is going to be available for you, as well as the masterclass recap. Strong Her doors will, the wait list is going to start on Monday, and then our doors are going to open officially until the 20th, until the first Monday in May. All right, so whoops, quick note before we leave. I just want you to keep in mind that I want you to stay consistent towards your goals. And I capitalized yours because I just want you to keep in mind that this is your journey, and your journey doesn't need to be perfect, but I want you to celebrate self-discovery and your resilience and how far you've come and just showing up. Okay. Every session is something to celebrate and how to show up. So again, this isn't fancy. I don't have magic beans to give to you, but I tell you what, doing this for over 17 years, training women, this is exactly what we do time and time again. It's tried and true. It's consistent. And truly, this is how muscle is built. All right. I am going to stop sharing my screen. Maybe. I am into fitness and not technology. All right. So do we have any questions at all for me that you want to touch base on? And if you do, and you're like, oh, I'd rather do this privately, feel free to just reach out, shannon-polson.com. You can go ahead and contact me with any question that you have. Just use me as a free resource. Yeah. And I just appreciate you so much for being here and taking this time with me. So thank you again, everyone. And we will see you super soon.